All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're talking about the Las Vegas Raiders. This is one of the most intriguing teams in the entire National Football League, and I gotta tell you, I absolutely love it. First things first, the way this defense has come together the entire season has me licking my chops. I'm literally licking my chops. I'm salivating here. Folks, I'm salivating, all right? They went, guys, they lost 3-0 in a national football game. They lost 3-0. 4 days later, they set the scoring record, put up 63 on the Los Angeles Chargers' head. Aiden O'Connell, 20 of 34, 248 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. We saw offensive versatility. We saw defensive dominance. We saw a thick six. We saw a pick six. We saw like 5 forced fumbles. Guys, it's a good time to be a Raiders fan right now. I got to tell you, and there's one favorite thing about this team for me this upcoming offseason. They have options. This team has options, all right? Right now, the main focus is, Josh McDaniels shafted this team, whatever. That's in the past. Derek Carr, whatever. That's in the past here. You got to get the head coach right, whether it's Antonio Pierce, whether it isn't, doesn't matter to me. I mean, it matters, but whether it's Aiden O'Connell, whether it isn't, it doesn't matter to me because most importantly, this team has options and they have a young, hungry, rising, improving defense. Guys, I actually love it. And we're going to talk about all of this in tonight's video. But before we do, if you enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content, along with a couple of Raiders videos every single week. Raider Nation, you guys are awesome. If you try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So the main thing right now is the quarterback situation. And the one comment I want to leave about the current state of Aiden O'Connell right now is there's 3 games left on the slate. And I know you guys cannot wait for Christmas Day at Kansas City, and I do have a hot take for you. I do think the Las Vegas Raiders take down the Kansas City Chiefs and their third-ranked defense on Christmas Day just a couple of weeks away. You follow that up with the Indianapolis Colts on New Year's Eve, and then you have Denver. So there's 3 games left, and we still have to evaluate Aiden O'Connell, and we still have to evaluate Antonio Pierce, and we still have to evaluate every single player on this roster because this is going to be a critical offseason for this team. Now, I think for me personally, the biggest thing is the quarterback situation. Unless Aiden O'Connell literally makes me lose my mind in a positive way, if he blows my socks off in these last 3 weeks, I will feel fully confident going with him in this upcoming season. And then you have the Jimmy Garoppolo situation where, apparently they plan to cut him this offseason, but when we look at it from a cap space standpoint, it actually doesn't make sense to cut Jimmy Garoppolo this upcoming offseason. Like, it actually doesn't. From a cap space standpoint, it doesn't make any sense to cut this man loose. I'll take that L. I will take it. So when we take a look at the quarterback situation, not only do we have to evaluate Aiden O'Connell in these upcoming weeks, but if I had to make a decision right here, right now, I would neither trade up, I would neither trade down. What I want to see is competition. I want to see competition at the quarterback position this upcoming offseason. So right now, everybody has Caleb Williams going 1st overall or 2nd overall, depending on what the Chicago Bears decide to do. And then you have Drake May from North Carolina going, somewhat very soon, maybe the next draft pick after him. And then you have Jaden Daniels. So as it stands right now, you only have 3 quarterbacks going in most mock drafts. Now, I just want to let the record show right now because I remember this from last year, and it happens every single year in the NFL. One week you'll hear, Bryce Young's going to be number 1, and it's not even close. And the next week you'll hear, it's going to be CJ Stroud, and it's not even close. And then you're going to have a sneaker team say, we think Anthony Richardson should be the number 1 draft pick. And then as we get closer to draft day, you're going to hear, I think Will Levis should be the number 1 draft pick. So that's why we need to preach patience, and we need to understand and remind ourselves that there's 3 games left in the regular National Football season for Aiden O'Connell's development. And we also need to remember that these mock drafts and these draft boards, they're going to change so much in the next 5 months until we actually have the NFL draft. What I would do if I was Las Vegas Raiders right here, right now, is I would take a quarterback. It doesn't necessarily need to be in the 1st round, but if I'm not 100% sold on Aiden O'Connell being that dude, what I do think is he can be that dude. I think if you build a sturdy, solid offensive line around him, I think he's got weapons. I think if he has time in the pocket I think he can do big things, as we saw this past Thursday night against the Los Angeles Chargers, but I'm not completely enamored by him. I think competition breeds the best out of every single athlete in every single sport. But when I take a look at certain mock drafts right now, it actually gets me pretty intrigued because I see players like Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr., and JJ McCarthy later on in first round, early second round draft picks that have me thinking, the Raiders could do something there. All right. Now, if they were to actually take a quarterback in the first, I would say even 2 rounds or early second round, based on how it's looking right now, the Raiders are 6-8. Uh, I don't know. I would imagine they go probably 7-10 to finish off the season, but they could finish 8-9. Who knows? Either way, momentum is good. I want to get as many victories as possible, even though it just doesn't make much sense from a drafting standpoint. The Raiders, end of the day, the final point here is that they have options. And I'm not in a rush to decide if Aiden is the dude or Antonio Pierce is the dude because we have like pretty much a month left of the football. But what I do want to see is I do want to see a quarterback come in here and give Aiden O'Connell a run for their money if they do decide to go in that route. And I just remember like drafting Tyree Wilson at pick number 7. I do think Tyree will be a stud, and I think the move to him at interior defensive line as opposed to on the edges is going to pay dividends, as we saw glimpses of it in that victory over the Chargers. Like Tyree Wilson's stat sheet wasn't blowing up, but if you watch that game, if you're a Raiders fan watching this video right now, you know that was by far Tyree Wilson's best game of his young NFL career. We all know he came into the league with injury concerns. Whether or not, they could have drafted Jalen Carter. They could have drafted a quarterback. Who knows? We could sit here and play if and or but all day. We could sit here and play hypotheticals all day. The point is the Raiders have options. And getting a quarterback and getting a head coach are first and foremost, in my opinion. But they need offensive line help. They need quarterback help. We all have our own opinions, as we should, and that's the beauty of sports here. But I'm just going to preach patience because I really liked what I saw Thursday night about a week ago from Aiden O'Connell. But then we go back 2 weeks ago, and it's like, no matter who your coach is, no matter who your offensive coordinator is, I need more than 0 points. And for that reason, pretty much in itself, and I get it, he was a rookie just thrown in there midway through the season to just be quarterback 1. He was drafted in the 4th round. Expectations should be lowered just in general. I'm not enamored by it. And my point is, we have plenty of football left. We have plenty of speculation. We have plenty of workouts. We've got combines for all these quarterbacks to go through. I'm just not in a rush to make a decision. And so what I'm going to do personally in this last 3 weeks, especially this upcoming Christmas Day, is I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy these last 3 games of Raiders football. I'm going to enjoy these last 3 games of Aiden O'Connell and Antonio Pierce at the helm because I'm not sure what their future holds within this franchise. And yeah, I'm just going to enjoy it and I'm going to be patient. So a little bit of a ramble, but point is the Raiders are in a good spot. All right. They're in a very good spot. Trust it. Trust the process here. All right. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. But guys, most importantly, what would you do if you had to make a decision right now on the quarterback situation? What would you do? Let me know down below. Have a great weekend. See you next.